Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 Questions with Emmy.
Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. Today we're here at the zoo talking to Sunny Katseanes. She's a worker here, and thank you so much for talking with me.
Well, thank you for being here, Emmy. It's great to meet you, and I'm looking forward to talking with you.
Should we get started with the
Let's
questions?
do it.
Okay, question number 1. How do you feed the big cats and the other predators?
How do we feed the big cats and the other predators? That is a really, really great question. Very carefully. So basically what we do is we never go in with any of our big cats or our predators. They are not pets. Even though they were born and raised in zoos, they're all still very wild animals. And so we have to be very, very careful with them. So what we do is we actually feed them what we call off habitat or off exhibit in their back area. And it's almost like training your cat or your dog at home. So when you train your cat or your dog with food, you train them to come into the house to eat, right? Or you train them to go out into your yard to eat. Well, what we've done...
Or to use the bathroom.
Yep, exactly, or to use the bathroom. That's a very good example. So what we do here is we actually have trained them that at night, that's how they come in at night. They know that they have to go back into their back denning area if they want to get fed. And then what we have is these big doors and these big gates and these big kind of like mechanical systems that are called guillotine doors that work just like you've heard of maybe the guillotines in France, the off with your head. Well, these aren't that dramatic, but they do work the same way. So they have these big pulleys that they pull on, and it can actually open the door from outside of where they're at. And we have these big tubes that we slide meat down into. The tube leads right into their holding area, and the animal comes in and the food is sitting right there on the floor or in a bowl for it, and they're ready to eat.
That's cool.
It's very cool. Yes, it's very cool.
Question number 2. What do you do when one of your animals has a baby?
Whenever anybody has a baby, we're going to actually get to meet kind of a special baby. So we do some different things depending on the baby. Most of the time, as long as one of the parents, mom or dad, is taking care of it, and it depends on the animal, whether it's mom or whether it's dad or whether it's both, we hope that they just do like they do in the wild. We want them to take care of their own babies. Now, some of the times animals in zoos are a little bit spoiled, or they don't have the experience that they need to take care of those babies. So some of the times our zookeepers actually have to intervene, and they have to help raise that baby. There's other examples where we allow the parents to raise them for so long, and then we actually take them and we finish the raising. So for example, with our penguins, with our African penguins, one of the things that we do is we allow them to stay with their mom and their dad after they hatch for about 28 days. And then after that, what we do is we actually pull them. Mom and dad still get to visit with them. They still get to see them through kind of a door system. But what we do is then we take them and we start feeding them. And that actually helps with our penguins. That helps our penguins get used to us, and they know what time dinner time is. And so we do public penguin feedings where we allow the people to watch us feed them at 10 and at 4 every day. And what we do is we actually just feed them. We have the penguins come into us. They know to come in. We give them that fish, open their mouth, stick the fish in their mouth, and they swallow it, and they know that if they want to eat dinner, that's what they have to do. So it really kind of depends on the animals, but our hope for the most part is that mom and dad will do their job.
What's the oldest animal at the zoo?
What's the oldest animal at the zoo? I would have to say the Aldabra tortoises, those big giant tortoises that we have. Honestly, Emmy, we don't even know how old they are. They're super old. They're over 100 years old. And those big giant tortoises like that can live to be 175, maybe even 200 years old. Some animals live a lot longer than people do. And so with that, we just take the best care of them that we can and know that they are slow old men and they may need a little bit of extra time to get places because, you know, after all, when we're 100 years old, we can only hope that we look as good as they do, right?
Yeah. So what's your favorite animal that's here at the zoo?
My favorite animal here at the zoo? I would probably have to say the snow leopards. I just think they're so pretty. I think they're amazing. I think that's the cutest baby in the world is a baby snow leopard. I think they're pretty incredible. What's your favorite animal here at the zoo?
I like all of them.
Do you like all of them?
But my top favorites are the flamingos, the snow leopards, and the otters.
And the otters, oh my gosh, they're so much fun to watch, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so fun, yeah.
How much food do you go through every day?
How much food do we go through every day? A lot. A lot. We've got over 300 animals here at the zoo. Not everybody eats every day. Sometimes the reptiles may only eat once a week. The big predators that you asked me about, they usually eat like 6 days a week, and then they have one day where they get a bone where they do some fasting. And so we go through a lot. We go through hay, we go through meat, we go through vegetables, we go through seeds, we go through fish, we go through pelleted food.
A lot of food.
It's a lot of food.
Have any of the animals ever escaped?
You know, it's kind of funny. We have had instances of the animals escape, but you want to know what animals escape the most?
What
The
animals?
peacocks.
Yeah, they do escape a
They
lot.
do. So as soon as we open up the gates in the spring after we've been closed all winter, the peacocks are like, hey guys, what's going on? I need to check this out. And they go marching off into the parking lot. Usually all we have to do is go out and herd them right back in. So that's pretty easy. We have had a long time ago when I worked here, long time ago, way before you were born, we had a couple of birds that escaped and we ended up finding them. We had to chase them down with nets and gather them up. We've had wallabies escape a couple of times and bop out and go into the local neighborhoods years and years and years ago. But thankfully, knock on wood, we haven't had any dangerous animals ever escape here at the Idaho Falls Zoo because we put a lot of safety precautions in place. And we're trained, and our animal care staff is trained such that if something does escape, we deal with it very quickly. And we've always been able to get it back into the zoo very efficiently.
What's something you've learned working at the zoo?
Something that I've learned working at the zoo. Oh wow, I've been here a long time. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of really incredible things about all of the animals at the zoo. But I think the thing that I've learned the most, that I think is the most important, is without people like you, without people like our guests, we wouldn't be able to have our amazing zoo. Without our amazing support from our city, we wouldn't have this incredible zoo. People are a very important part of our zoo and a very important part of our ecosystem. We play a role in our planet just like all of these animals do. And we can't discount that. We got to remember that humans are an important part of how all this works together. And we all need to work together and live together in harmony with our animal friends if we're going to have them around for future generations. So I think that's the thing that I've learned the most, is how important people are to the conservation issues that we deal with animals like that we have in the zoo all around our planet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emmy. It
Can we
was
see
wonderful
the
to meet you.
baby animal?
Yes, let's bring out that baby. Shall we bring out our baby? So Amy is actually in the process. You asked about one of the babies here at the zoo.
Yeah.
This is Amy. She is in the process right now of hand raising little Miss Bindi. Hi, sleepy girl.
Is she named after Bindi Irwin?
She is. Yes, exactly.
I interviewed her.
Did you?
Really?
Oh, that's
That's
great.
amazing.
It'd be amazing to meet Bindi Irwin. She's one of our heroes here at the zoo. So little Miss Bindi is what we call a Bennett's red-necked wallaby. So you can see a lot of people come in, they go, oh, those are kangaroos. They're not kangaroos, but kangaroos are cousins to wallabies. So our little wallabies here are pretty amazing animals. They live in more of the forested areas of Australia. And the reason why Amy is hand raising her is so that we can better take care of our wallaby group, which is called a wallaby mob, actually. And by hand raising these little guys, it helps them become familiar with us and trust us, exactly like we talked about, like your dog at home, potty training your dog, or training your dog to come in or go out to get fed. These guys have learned over the last few years. We've raised, what, 4 now? And with those 4 little wallabies that we've raised, our mob has so much more trust in us. They'll now come up to us much more readily so that we can give them medical care that we need, so that we can do exams however we need. And they have that much more trusting relationship. Like I mentioned, that how much I've learned that how important people are to that conservation equation. That is such a big part of this, raising this little wallaby. So do you want to pet her?
Yes, please. She's so cute.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't she soft?
Yes.
She's so sweet. How old is Bindi, Amy?
Bindi's about 8.5 months now. So we have had her for just over a month with us. And she just lives in this pouch on my side. I carry her around all day. She goes home with me because she has to be fed every 4 hours. So at the beginning we were getting up in the middle of the night to feed her, and we have just gotten rid of the night feeding, so she's sleeping through the night and I'm sleeping through the night, which is nice.
That is nice.
But she's pretty special. We're excited, and we're hoping because she's a female that we'll actually be able to interact with her joeys in her pouch, and then we'll have generations of joeys that are desensitized by staying with mom at the same time.
That's cool.
And then
We can
everybody
take her
trusts us.
home.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Yep. Big happy relationship.
What do you think,
Where
Mom?
does she sleep?
In her pouch. Yep, she just sleeps in her pouch, and then we have a kind of like a pack and play that we hang up, so if she wants to get out, she can hop around the pack and play and then jump back in her pouch when she's done.
So her pouch is like her house.
It is. It's just like her mama's little pouch that she'd carry her around in.
She's
But
so
she gets to go see a
cute.
lot of cool things.
Thank you so much for talking with me.
Well,
Sunny.
thank you for coming to
And
the Idaho
thank you
Falls
for
Zoo
showing
today.
me Bindi. She is
Anytime.
so cute.
She's special.
Make sure you come to the Idaho Falls Zoo and you could see Bindi and amazing workers here too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions and interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye.
Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community and 7 questions with Emmy.